put y'all onto anchoring. Anchoring is when you grab something that's going to represent something that you intend to have in the future. So for example, if you want to have your house, you go get some house keychain or something like that. Or if you want to have a car, you go and get a replica or a toy version of that car that you want. My daughter told me to get this for her because she wanted a dog so bad, and I was like, no, I don't do pets. She made me get this for her. This right here, okay? Let me show you what this
What?
anchored. He was anchoring for this thing right here. Matthew knew if she made me get it was gonna make me get you.
Okay.
She's so smart.
Guy, this guy is assuming and the water is coming. Oh, no. Wow. Yeah, these are the real children of the water. This one, yeah. I see like it's magic from this side of the world. How can you try this? Did you see that? Someone water just, wow.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but just a PSA, one of the biggest studies ever done on prayer was led by Harvard Medical School and published in the American Heart Journal. Researchers tracked more than 1,800 heart surgery patients to see if being prayed for would affect their recovery. The study found no difference in recovery rates between those who were prayed for and those who were not. It also found that patients who knew they were being prayed for experienced a higher rate of post-surgery complications. The researchers concluded that prayer itself had no measurable effect.
But giving thanks, my friend, always give thanks. A good vibes guy here is feeding their dog everything. What? These are some sweet potatoes. What? What are these? What? Aye, that's enough. Man, this one wants to overfeed the dog. What's going on in this video? All those food. Why Gishrat's dogs are eating? That is like a mix-up. I lost count. This dog has been given so much food. Is this healthy? Wow, this dog is not even eating greens. He's eating things I don't know, things I've never seen. Noodles, or what do you call these things that look like worms? It's not finishing. This one could be a skinwalker. How? That dog just ate all.
So it turns out that bees can learn Morse code. They also have a concept of time despite not really needing it, and they play. This has a lot of consequences for how we see consciousness and machine consciousness, and just animals in general. And yes, you're looking at a bee playing with a ball. Apparently they do this more when they're younger and kind of grow out of it. Something we really do associate with higher animals, mammals in particular. But yeah, apparently bumblebees do it. You can read more about that here, and honestly, great name for a paper. Some researchers also taught bees Morse code for some reason. I guess they wanted to figure out if they had a decent concept of time. They shouldn't reasonably be able to distinguish between long pulses of light and short pulses of light, but of course they do. They associated different lengths of the pulses with different kinds of rewards, either sugar water or something that didn't taste particularly good to a bumblebee. There's been a lot of research like this where we find emergent behaviors in animals that we really didn't expect, in part, I think, because we have a kind of chauvinistic view of what animals are capable of. Yes, insects play. I know people who have reptiles that say, yes, they actually are affectionate. I'm not totally sure on that one, but I will take herpetologist's word on it that reptiles actually are affectionate. I usually think of oxytocin when it comes to that, the cuddle hormone. Meaning there has to be some biological reward for engaging with others, and since reptiles don't usually take care of their young, they really have no need to be friends, but apparently it happens.
Okay, we're gonna see if the big boss can walk up to Rufus, which is already pissed off.
I don't need to hold the stick then.
And then see if I can walk up to him.
Oh, okay. This one is interesting.
Don't cough on me.
Okay. I don't like his posture.
This is good vibes.
Posture. Now, I'm gonna walk up to Rufus. need for me to do. Hey,
You're both married to one person, brother.
so I'd like to say that we proved that Rufus likes us both equally.
I don't think so. Hey, watch the jewels, man.
Okay, so I believe that test proves Rufus came to me wanting attention, and he showed some mild aggression
Okay.
towards you.
Oh.
I don't think he should.
Maybe the cow sees the good vibes guy there as a competitor to the woman. Aye, my friend, come see this. Come fast. Aye, look. These are real. Aye, these are not real.
Why can't the US or China make the machines that make chips? Like, the two countries fighting over AI both can't make the machines that make AI chips. And I'll keep it non-technical, but it's literally because it is insanely hard for 4 reasons. Let's get into it. First, you need a very specific type of light that's higher energy than all the light we see, because it's good at printing on silicon. But this light is a diva and causes a ton of problems. Just to make it, you have to snipe molten droplets of tin with a laser, hitting them dead center to make the light. And the droplets are smaller than the width of a human hair, and you have to do this 50 to 100,000 times per second with no room for error. And this is the easiest part. Now that you have the light, you have to put it on the right spot on the chip to draw all the patterns. Normally you could use a lens. If you've ever burnt paper with a magnifying glass, that's exactly what you're doing with the light from the sun. But this light is a diva, and no material exists that can act as a lens for it. Since you can't use a magnifying glass, you have to use a bunch of mirrors. But these mirrors have to be smoother than the width of an atom. If the mirror was the size of the entire planet, the tallest mountain would be the height of a credit card in thickness. And there's only one company in the world that can make these mirrors. But since you lose a little bit of light from the mirror each time, by the time it hits the silicon, you've lost over 99% of it. So the droplet sniping thing has to be 50 times hotter than the surface of the sun. And it gets better. Third, while the mirror sniping stuff is going on, you have to move the chip so it prints onto the right spot at up to a meter per second while keeping nanometer level accuracy, which doesn't sound crazy. But if the chip was the size of a plane, it would be like moving the plane with precision less than 50 times smaller than the width of the smallest human cell, which is a blood cell apparently, all while moving the plane at 300 miles per hour. To emphasize this, because my brain could not understand how ridiculous this is. This is like landing a plane at 2 times normal speed and having the exact spot where the wheels touch down be precise to within 50 times smaller than a human blood cell. And this has to be synchronized, but it gets even better. Remember how the light is a diva? Yeah, it gets destroyed by dust. So you have to remove all the air, which puts it under pressure. Like the science demo where you put yourself in a vacuum sealed bag so you can't move. So this is under pressure equal to the weight of 170 cars on top of everything else that's going on. So that's why the US and China can't do this. And next time you use ChatGPT, just know the literal hardware it's running on was made by technology that makes landing on the moon look like rubbing 2 sticks together. It is insane that nobody talks about this. Anyways.
It does not feel like real technology. Feels like from out of this world. Raptor vertical lift and Hoover. This is Miramar Air Show. Look at this here. Wow, this is something crazy. Wow, look at this. Wow, this is unbelievable. My friends, look at this jet. Some of these things are so crazy, unbelievable. Wow. Maybe that's the reason why the devil never showed himself up. Because my friends, if this is what is made to fight the devil, this is crazy, unbelievable. I hope they don't use it to fighting other humans, because look at this thing. Yeah? How can you use it against other good vibe souls like yourself? This one is for fighting beings that are not of this world. I think so. I even think some of these things, aeroplanes have never been used in real war. Because how? Look how this thing is. This one's. My friends, do you think this is something, the technology this one was made by humans? Because how can this thing do these things? It's like it defies all laws of nature, physics. I don't know much about those stuff, but from how I see it, it does not look real. And it's not just one. Look, there's several on the ground. Hi, guy. Wow, this one is unbelievable. These things are mind-blowing. Look at this thing. It's even birds can birds do what this thing is doing? It's doing more than what birds can do. and the birds were made for staying in the sky. This one was made by humans. And it's doing things that this is, I'm sure the birds must be really surprised by what humans do. You see? Because the things that go on here is quite surprising. What other things can do, my friends, is mind blowing. Imagine. This thing is like it's stuck. There's a parking. There's taken post in there. How is this possible? Children of God, these things, they really make me doubt how if it's like we live in different worlds. Yeah? What were these things made for, to be honest? Wow. Wow. The other day we heard that this thing can move like nobody's business when it decides to move.
Here is called a tenaculum.
What?
It is inserted
Brother.
into the vagina
What?
and then used to
What are you
gently
saying?
grasp the cervix. And if you're looking at the ends of those thinking that should not be used to grip anything, let
This is
alone
metal.
something up inside of the vagina, not to worry because the cervix does not have any nerve endings. That's not remotely true. In fact, it's so innervated that there's a subset of the population that can actually
Oh
have
my
an
God,
orgasm
wow.
from cervical stimulation. It's called a cervical orgasm. Now, if you're the owner and operator of a penis, I want to give you a window into women's health care. You go in for a relatively routine medical procedure. And they say, because we can't quite reach
feel
the
ashamed
end
listening
or
to
the
this.
hole in the end of your penis, what we're going to do is use this tool without any kind of anesthetic.
This video must be here by
gently
mistake.
Grab onto
Wow,
it,
I'm
grip
even
it
feeling
so
like
that we
closing
can
my
then,
eyes not to see.
Hold on to it. And then once we've got a good grip on it, we're going to take this
brother.
medical device and we're going
I
to
was just okay without seeing this.
urethra and then let
Oh,
these
man,
arms
guy,
expand gently.
yeah.
And this will ensure that you can't get anyone
Aye.
pregnant. And by the way,
My friend,
once
was this
is
video
in place,
supposed to be
it
here?
may cause weeks worth of cramping, and you
Oh,
may bleed
but
heavily
stop
from
it.
time to time. This is what the procedure looks like on the female anatomy. This would be the gripping of the cervix, and that is the
Hey,
placement
guy,
of a copper
how can you
IUD
be talking
inside of
about
the
these
uterus.
things in
They look
public?
like cervical hedge clippers. Got your nose. Now I'll let you go as long as you promise to send this to a man so they can get a little bit of perspective on what happens at the doctor.
I will not even add something to that, my friends. I'm very ashamed. But let's continue
We
watching.
just all got played for
Here
8
I feel
months.
conned.
Everyone in
Pranked.
the world, everyone in the country, everyone
Yeah,
in New York City
I
got
feel
played by
conned.
these two thespians, these actors. Because remember, 8 months ago, we thought it was Godzilla versus King Kong. There was Orhan Mandami calling Donald Trump a fascist. He's not. And then Donald Trump calling Orhan Mandami a communist. He's not. And then, as you mentioned, just recently, the president said, I'm going to withhold $7 billion of badly needed federal funding for New York City if you elect Zoran Mandami. And then Zoran Mandami, on the night of his victory, turns and looks into the television and says, Donald Trump, if you're listening, turn up the volume. So they're like antagonizing their followers. And then all of a sudden today, we're expected to
These
believe
two are friends.
kumbaya. Everything is fine. Everything moves normally. No. I don't get played. I feel that like
I
the
feel
American
conned
people were
extremely.
turned into suckers to all of a sudden start adversarially wanting to go at one another when in fact we can see the reaction today, which is,
We need
you're going
lots
to be
of
building.
honesty in this world, my friends. Lots of them. God. Wah. Wah. God. My God. Look at this. Whoa. Wah. It adds more to the fears of using large water bodies.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've got
Some of these videos feel so
calls
unreal.
about it.
My friends, do you sometimes feel like we are watching movies here? Because are these real things that happen in English, lads? It's like you guys are living in a real movie. These are the things we see. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Are we breaking something we
What
shouldn't
goes
break?
on there? English people. Hi, you see from this side of the world, if anything like this ever happened, people, my friend, would be having to fast to pray. They would think it's a curse. And I'm surprised you guys live like it's normal things there.
This little guy right here has absolutely zero self-preservation skills. That's my car. He was laying right there, and as I was backing up into my driveway, I could see him in my camera. Did he move?
He
No.
wants you to
He
adapt
just
him,
laid
brother.
there,
Look
like
at
a
how he's
fucking little
looking.
potato staring right at me. I could have just went all the way back and crushed him. But did he even think of moving? Even now, look at him.
This one loves you.
He's just letting
You
me
have
hold
gotten yourself a friend there that just came your way.
Is there even a thought going on?
Lots
in that
of
little
love,
head of
baby.
yours?
This one looks happy. Good vibes guy there just found a friend. That one went to him.
The government has retrieved at least 2 different alien
only.
species, and that one of them made contact with the crash retrieval team. What does that mean? Does that mean it was alive when they captured it?
One of the intelligence officials in the film speaks about an event that happened on a U.S. military base where 2 UAP approached the base. One of them landed, and apparently non-human beings exited the craft and interacted with members of the Air Force and the CIA. Now, here's the thing: these all sound like extraordinary claims that are hard for people to wrap their head around, right?
Yeah.
But these are 34. In my film, there's 34 extremely high-level military, government, intelligence officials, people who have been trusted with very high-level security clearances, people who have been involved in, keeping this nation safe in many different ways, and people who we trust in a lot of scenarios. And these interview subjects range from our Secretary of State to sitting senators to former, Director of National Intelligence, a former Secretary of Defense, leaders from the Pentagon, leaders from the CIA, leaders from the Air Force, leaders from the Navy. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's really hard to ignore what these people are saying.
It's really hard to say this is one kooky person doing this when you have this much experience in every level and every branch of government all coming together on camera to say, not only have we retrieved alien spacecraft, we've retrieved alien remains.
Yeah, and keep in mind, these are people that are not aligned at all ideologically or politically, right? But they're aligned on this. So it's 34 senior officials.
These alien
sharing
stories
one
are
truth.
always mind-blowing. Maybe one day I'll believe them if I ever had an English person say that there's aliens that look like either grasshoppers or praying mantis. Those are the aliens that we think exist or how they look like from this side of the world. Things grasshopper or praying mantis. Aliens like those. Anyway, all these videos are always for entertainment. You see, let me explain more about the aliens you think about. You see, the grasshoppers. Now make it look like humanish. A human grasshopper or a praying mantis, but with an alien face. Now that's how you think real aliens look like. Not the things you see here sometimes. But thanks for your time, child of God. Watching up to this far. Good vibes, my friend. Lots of love. This time, my friend, we shall share a word from this book here. The Book of Wisdom. From Psalms chapter 10 verse 16. It says, "The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations will perish from his land. You hear, O Lord, the desire of the afflicted. You encourage them and you listen to their cry." Wonderful, my friends. Good vibes, child of God. That is our word from the Book of Wisdom today. Let's give thanks for life and this far and end this episode. Thank you, wonderful Creator, for the good time we had together with your precious soul, today's viewer. Thank you for love, Father. Thank you for your kindness and your mercies up to this point. Thank you, dear Lord, for the blessings you've passed to this viewer's life. All glory belong to you. In your holy name, Jesus Christ, we do give thanks. Amen. Till next time, child of God, have some good time. Peace and good vibes. Hit that like button and spread some love. Bye bye.